what were you going to say?
Instead of like Lexi said visual, like I was trying to say what it could be a graph that has something.
Okay, that's true, definitely. So graphic source is, Eli, do you have one?
A diagram or maybe another something
Diagram would be the visual source. I know that we talked with our superstition projects about different visuals that you had, but those are like live action visuals, like you're making something. When we're talking about a graphic source, we're talking specifically about something that's in the page, in the article that you're reading. So a bar graph, when it has a caption under the picture, those are the kind of things that authors use and they include to help you better understand. We've kind of already covered this last question, but what graphic sources were used in this week's stories, and how did they help us understand what we were reading? So for example, Caden said that there was a picture and a diagram of the space shuttle that kind of labeled the different parts of it, and as the paragraph itself was describing the space shuttle, but the graphic source, when you had the diagram right next to it, it really helped us to understand what we were reading. We could read in words about the different parts of the shuttle, but then when you can see it right next to it, it kind of makes everything full circle. It really helps you to understand. Can we get 2 more examples of a graphic source that you saw this week in either Talk with an Astronaut or Cosmonauts and Astronauts, and how did it help you better understand what you were reading? Oh, come on, there's all kinds of graphic sources. Think about all the pictures and all the diagrams that you saw last week, or this week. Eli?
In the cosmonauts and astronaut thing, and one of them it showed the diagram thing with like what they had what they had to wear and stuff.
Oh yeah, there was the diagram that talked about their actual spacesuit, and all the complicated and all the things that are a part of that, for sure. Kaylee?
Remember the questions that we did with like the egg scavenger hunt or whatever?
Yes.
It asked us what the spaceship that was on there, what if it was
Atlantis or...
Yeah, Atlantis or...
Oh, yeah.
And on the page you could see like the last letter of Atlantis, and we knew it was Atlantis.
Exactly, definitely. So we were reading about 2 different space shuttles, but then it had the graphic source of the picture, and you could really get a lot of information just from looking at it. Very good. There was a question on that. All right, just to kind of wrap it up, so fun facts that you learned. Anything else that you didn't know on Monday, but you know now after reading either one of our selections this week? Mackenzie?
The Soviet Union was really ahead of the United States.
Okay, so for a while they were ahead, but would you say that they ended ahead?
No.
Yeah, what were some big things that we ended up accomplishing? Christian?
Man on the moon.
Yeah, man on the moon, right? That was definitely a huge thing for us to be able to be the first ones to put a man on the moon first. Kaylee?
In the story, it said that Ellen could talk with her kids and husbands through the internet. I didn't know they could even get close to the internet.
Could you imagine? I mean, we have Skype and FaceTime now, right? But could you imagine? This article was written a few years ago. They can Skype and do that kind of stuff from space.
How do they get?
And so you're talking to your mom when she's up there.
So they have a better connection.
How do they get
That's
Wi-Fi?
right.
Oh, yeah, because
Oh, satellites and that kind of stuff.
and because they're living in
I'm
a
sure they can figure it
satellite.
out. Alrighty, so our activity today, Gabriel, our activity today is going to be quick ones. So each group, you're going to be in a group of 3 to 4, okay? And you are going to choose one of these activities to just kind of show what you know, show what you learned about. So I'm going to go through. If your group chooses quick draw, then I'll get out the craft bucket, and you can take a piece of paper and draw a poster, make a poster that includes all kinds of things that represent what you learned about. So you can create a collage of scenes, symbols, characters, and important vocabulary words that have to do with what we learned about. It's not just limited to Talk with an Astronaut. It can be about cosmonauts and astronauts as well. So for example, Kaylee's group did choose to do, they did this earlier, and they chose to do the collage, and so they made something like this. And they even added some 3D effects there. So you can make a collage that has pictures and words that all have to do with what we read about. Next one would be quick write. You can write a poem, a new ending, a different setting, a song, or etc. So if you want to write a song about, it has to do with some of the facts that we learned this year. A haiku, there you go, you could write a poem. Perfect then.
What's a haiku? I can't say what a haiku exactly. How do you do that?
It's a poem that has a certain number of syllables in each line. We can, I
Isn't
think
it
we'll.
like 7 syllables each time?
The other one, quick drama. All right, now again, I should preface this by saying that you only have 15 minutes to do this, okay? Because it's a quick one. So you're going to brainstorm. There's 3 or 4 of you, and you'll brainstorm, and you'll have 15 minutes to come up with something. So the other option is quick drama. You can create a script and act out a scene, or create a script and a scene, and then act it out by reading it. So again, it wouldn't have to be anything really elaborate. It wouldn't have to be a page-long script or anything, but come up with a quick script that would act out a scene from either one. Or you can do a quick combo, or you can do a combination of any of these. So if you want to write a poem but maybe have a poster to go along with it, that would be fine. But the idea is that we're just thinking about everything that we learned this week, and the themes and everything else, and you're brainstorming together to come up with a quick representation to kind of show what you know, highlight the important parts. Any questions? No? Alrighty, so I'll give you about 15 minutes, and then we're going to come back together and you'll demonstrate your activities.